Okay, for this lesson we're going to be multiplying fractions. Relatively quick and short lesson, but some review stuff as well. So again, just like before, you're going to have to be able to do this with and without a calculator. So with the calculator, we'll discuss that in class, but it should be pretty easy for you. But we're going to do these by hand. So first of all, let's talk about before you ever multiply fractions, you have to have them written as fractions. And what do I mean by that? Right here, 2, you want to write 2 as a fraction. So I'm actually going to write that as 2 over 1. Then when you multiply, all you do is you multiply everything on top together and everything that's on bottom together. So 2 times 3 is 6, 1 times 7 is 7. Now after you do that, you have to simplify or reduce. Unless instructions tell you otherwise, you should always reduce fractions. However, 6/7 will not reduce. Okay, we come over here, do the same thing. You write that as 1, multiply the top, the bottom. Now we get 12 over 7, and that is fine with me. However, if you want to change it to a mixed number, again, ask yourself, 7 goes into 12 one time with the remainder of 5. So either answer would be fine with me, 12 over 7 or 1 5/7. Remember, always look at your instructions or look at the answer choices if it's multiple choice to see how it's written. Okay, now the next 3 involve mixed numbers. So here you've got to change the mixed number to an improper fraction. So let's review that real quick. So here it's multiply, add, multiply, add. So the first one becomes 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16 over 3. The second one becomes 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Now, one thing you can do when you multiply is what we call cross-reduce. And what that means is you can cancel anything or reduce anything as long as it's top to bottom. In other words here, the 3's would cancel. 2 goes into 16 8 times. That leaves a 1 down here. So then if you multiply that, you get 8 on the top and 1 on the bottom, which you could rewrite as just 8. Now the purpose in that is not having to reduce it at the end. You reduce before you actually multiply. But again, it's a personal choice there how you want to do it. Okay, so let's do the next one. So I'm going to write this down here. I'm going to rewrite this one. 5 times 9 plus 5. So 5 times 9 is 45, plus 5 would be 50 over 9. Do the next one. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 would be 5. So I have 5 over 2. Again, try to cross-reduce. Well, here, 5 will not go into 9. 2 will not go into 5. 9 will not go into 50. But 2 will go into 50. So there I can cross-reduce. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 50 25 times. So then you multiply straight across. 25 times 5 would be 125. 9 times 1 would be 9. And that would be your improper fraction answer simplified. But if you're going to write it as a mixed number, you have to divide. 9 goes into 125 13 times. And if you do that, that's 117 from 125 would be 8. So you get 13 and 8/9. And again, with the calculator, this is a lot easier and a lot faster, but you do have to know how to do it by hand because that will be part of your test as well. Okay, let's do the very last one here. Same kind of scenario here. I'll multiply and add. Remember, you ignore the sign right here until you go ahead and change it over. So 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So that's negative 7 over 6. Do the other one. Well, that's just 1/10. Let's try to cross-reduce here. Well, let's see. 7 will not go into 10. 6 will not go into 7. 1 doesn't really change anything, so there's nothing I can cross-reduce. So I just multiply straight across, and I get negative 7 over 60. And since I could not cross-reduce, I know that's my simplified answer. So there's a benefit to cross-reducing early in that you figure out that it's already simplified at the end. However, you can always multiply and then reduce it when you get to the end of the problem. So hopefully that's made sense to you. And again, we'll address the calculator in class.